So Saturday Night Live didn't let me down. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the beginning. And then I went to watch some of my recorded shows, World News Tonight and Inside Edition. Inside Edition weekend was all stuff I'd already seen, so. But Saturday Night Live did exactly what I knew it was gonna do. And it was fucking funny. So it's like, and I do want to preface this with, you know, number one, we who voted for Trump, you know, I personally, I mean, I didn't expect this whole Stormy Daniels thing to happen. And it's just amusing the shit out of me because it's just so ridiculous. But number two, and even more importantly, no matter what, I still don't think we would have been better off as a country with Hillary Clinton as our president. End of story. And there's nothing that would, you know, make me feel otherwise. So, that being said, I'm not the only one, maybe not everyone's as obsessed, but see, I'm the type of person that I really, although Saturday Night Live had a field day with that too and said something about dementia. Yeah. Because even if you don't like Trump, you have to just look at this logically. Why? Giuliani was just taken on, just hired to be one of Trump's attorneys, okay, in the White House. Why would he open his fucking mouth about the Stormy Daniels thing at all? That's what I don't get. Why would he do it? He had to have done it behind, like, that's why the Saturday Night Live thing was talked about dementia. He was hinting that he's freaking senile or something. And Jimmy Kimmel's like, we don't need anybody. We just have Giuliani throwing Trump under the bus. And then Saturday Night Live even had, like, like every week, Giuliani's going to go on a different talk show and reveal a new crime of Trump's or something. I mean, what was Giuliani thinking? And if he's going to do something like that, then get your facts straight. Or even if you're trying to, you know, I'm sorry, but you're hired to protect Trump, not throw him under the bus. I mean, you get it? Oh, I know that I can't be the only one who supported Trump or supports Trump or voted for Trump who's still shaking his or her head over this bullshit. Because believe me, all Trump supporters or people who voted for Trump are not just going to automatically believe everything he says and just automatically believe that he has to be innocent in this. It's, you know what I mean? And if they are, then there's something wrong. Okay? I'm saying you don't automatically believe anything. You cannot discount, you know, you can't discount anything on either side, all right? But the fact of the matter is, I thought that Giuliani I thought he just went on that Fox News. But no, what I heard, I think, on Jimmy Kimmel or something, he made the rounds of talk shows. Or those kind of shows or whatever. He made the rounds of them and was dropping that bombshell about how Trump knew about the payment. I'm sorry, Trump that had paid Cohen back, but Trump didn't know he was paying Cohen back. But also, just to be perfectly clear here, if you know, this is what I'm thinking too. The Air Force One thing, the reporter, if you have to be, like, absolutely accurate in what you say. That's why they want a timeline from Trump, but will that ever be forthcoming? You know? Because that's vague. Did you know about the payment to Stormy Daniels? What you need to say is, did you know about the payment Cohen made to Stormy Daniels when he made it? Okay. Obviously, by the time he was asked on the Air Force One thing, Cohen had already confessed that he made that payment. So that's like, if you say, did you know about the payment? Yeah, I knew about the payments, just like I found out when the rest of the world found out. You know what I mean? But did you know about the payment needs to be clarified. Did you know about the payment before Cohen confessed to the world about the payment? You have to be specific. You're going to get into semantics here. Because Trump sits there and says, you need to listen to what I said again. We did listen carefully, and it keeps being played on mainstream news, what he said. But again, the reporter didn't say, did you know about the payment before Cohen told the world about the payment? Just said, did you know about the payment to Stormy Daniels? And you're not asking him right now, did you know, when did you know? That's what they need to, reporters need to say, when did you know about the payment to Stormy Daniels? But Trump's not going to answer that. So when that reporter bombards Trump in the Air Force One, no, I didn't. And I don't know where you got the money, okay? But even Giuliani's not saying that it was Trump's idea. Giuliani's saying that Trump didn't even know he was paying Cohen back, okay? You get it? But Trump says that but Trump was saying he didn't know about the payment, and he wasn't paying Cohen back. So we're all scratching our heads here. But if that is a vague question, did you know about the payment? Did I know about the payment when? When he made it? Or you have to say, did you know about the payment prior to Cohen telling the whole world about it? I just, forget about that. Okay, we know that there's something going on there. There's just no way. There's no way this isn't true. And for Trump to continue to deny it, I even said as much to Joe, not recently, not with this recent shit, but Joe's just like, that's his personal business. And he also points to the fact of, in that world, I don't get into that on my channel, but hell of a lot worse things politicians have done and whatnot, okay? We are talking about something that so many people, married or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, admit to, both men and women, of cheating, okay? But it's not about that. It's about that payment and the secrecy and et cetera, and lying and, But I just want to understand why. I wonder what my Joe would say if I asked him. Maybe he'd have no idea. I don't know. He just says this bullshit is getting people to not think about the bigger things. Speaking of which, I can't believe what's going on in Hawaii. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. All this shit happening, a lot of people are going to think is indicative of the Armageddon coming soon or whatnot. The thing going on in Hawaii is fucked up. Said something like they haven't seen the volcanic eruption like that since 1970 something. It's a long time ago. I don't know. Anyway, why? I'm just trying to understand. Why would Giuliani have even said anything? Why do it? Why did he even go on Fox and Friends or any of these other? Why? He's going on the other. Now he needs to clarify. But the thing is, he put his foot in his mouth big time, because in the same breath that he said it's not about politics, he said. That's why Saturday Night Live talked about him being seen, having dementia or something, because it doesn't make sense. In the same breath that people who hate Trump are having a field day with this. I'm just flabbergasted. In the same breath that he said, and I watched him say it, in the same breath that he said, oh, it's not about, but it wasn't about the election, tell us another one. It wasn't about the election, it was about protecting the family and whatnot. But somebody smart would say, if it was about protecting the family, why do it? Why pay a stormy right before the election? The affair happened 12 years ago. But I guess it's because she was coming out with it or something or other. I don't know. We all know that that's bullshit. But the fact is, we all know it's bullshit. But if Giuliani is supposed to be Trump's lawyer and be on Trump's side, etc., why would he, in the same breath, go and say, can you imagine if this came out right before the debate between Trump and him? So he put his foot in his mouth big time. What did he think he was doing? Why can't he just, if he's supposed to be, even if Trump's guilty, if Giuliani is supposed to be protecting Trump, why doesn't he keep his fucking mouth shut? Why did he even go on these shows at all? That's what gets me. Why did he do it? That's why some people are hinting that he's an idiot. But if he's an idiot, then you can't be an idiot and be a lawyer? And wasn't he something else before he was when he's not just a lawyer, he was something higher up? I don't know. I just know that he's not acting intelligently. He's supposed to be protecting Trump, even if Trump's guilty of anything. He's supposed to be protecting him. He's not supposed to be going on shows and voicing what Trump's enemies believe anyway, that it was done because of the election. I don't know. If I were Trump, I'd drop Giuliani in a heartbeat. He made a big mess of things, It's supposed to play out where if Trump's lying, he's supposed to be able to continue lying until he's forced to confess, you know what I mean? But Giuliani wasn't supposed to make it easy for the people going after Trump or thinking he's lying. He's supposed to be Trump's lawyer. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I feel like just something like that makes me just think, oh, everything's insane. Like, why would Giuliani have done it? Why would he have done it? You'd almost think that he is tricking Trump and he's actually against Trump. And he's pretending to be a bumbling idiot as people are viewing him, because even if people hate Trump, they're puzzled about why Giuliani would be throwing Trump under the bus like that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I witnessed it. I'm glad I got to actually witness it and hear it, and rather than hear it as hearsay, you know what I mean? I got, I wouldn't have witnessed it if I still didn't have TV. I just want to know what the Trump supporters, the diehard Trump supporters, think of this latest Giuliani thing. But then Trump saying that Giuliani got it wrong. Alright, that he didn't pick. If Giuliani got it wrong, why would Giuliani have opened his big fucking mouth, Trump? Why do that? You just hired him. People are ridiculing him because you just hired him. And again, that's why I'm stressing, even if you hate Trump, you still have to be able to recognize that even if Trump is guilty, even if whatever, that your lawyer is supposed to protect you, do their best, not hand you to your enemies on a silver platter, which is essentially what Giuliani did by totally making Trump out to be a liar and saying, oh yeah, he paid him back. Then he tries to save face and say, but he didn't know he was paying him back. But then, like I said, reporters just say, did you know about, because Trump doesn't have to answer anything. But Trump shouldn't have even, speaking of which, Trump shouldn't have said one word on Air Force One either. He should have kept his mouth shut. Let it play out and only say what he's forced to say, there are people who support Trump who are just going to automatically, I mean, I love the show Roseanne, but that doesn't mean and Roseanne's a Trump supporter, but the thing is, just because Stormy Daniels was a hardcore porn star for a long time, doesn't mean she's not telling the truth about this Trump thing. And she seemed very believable to me, especially when she wanted to stress, no, did you want to have sex with him on that 60 Minutes? No, but I wasn't a victim. I agreed to do it. It was only that one time, and she's not trying to say he paid her or anything like that, where her friend is suddenly coming forward, oh yeah, I was there. It makes me think, whatever, she's grabbing on the coattails of, but you know what I mean? You can't just discredit Stormy simply because was a porn star. That's just not rational on Roseanne's part. But I'm sure maybe there's more diehard Trump supporters and fans and just that are going to automatically believe Trump no matter what, even if the facts say otherwise, and that's not me, you understand? I can't do something like that. And I have to recognize that even if Trump's guilty, his lawyer is there to protect him. I mean, I don't get it. Did Trump want Giuliani to even go on these shows, or the Fox and Friends or whatever, and why did he even, I am so puzzled. Maybe he just, it was one thing to say that Trump paid Cohen back, but then and then Giuliani was quick to say something like, oh, he didn't know he was paying him back, which is strange. But then he also is trying to get us to believe, thinking we're idiots, that it had nothing to do with the election. It was to protect his family. Okay. But then in the same breath, I get maybe he's diarrhea of the mouth, I don't know. In the same breath, that makes you think that he's something like that, him saying that imagine if it came out, why are you going to first say it had nothing to do with the election, and then in the same breath, a minute later, as people are having a field day with this, not just talk shows either, not just late night comedians or like Jimmy Kimmel, whatever, serious, like they're having a field day with this. It's like, in the same breath that you said, it's not about the election, which a lot of people are not buying. And again, I don't know how many Trump supporters are just diehard and they're going to just believe anything, but so many people are not buying that it wasn't about the election. I mean, does Giuliani think we're idiots? He seemed to. I remember I listened to him. I watched him with my own eyes and ears. But then in the same breath, he turns around and totally puts his foot in his mouth and says, imagine if it came out on the day of the... So which is it, Giuliani? First you're saying it has nothing to do with the election at all, and a couple minutes later, imagine if it came out on the day of the debate between Hillary. Yeah, imagine. Why are you bringing it up? You're supposed to protect Trump, you idiot. Not voice what a lot of people have in the back of their minds anyway, that it did have to do with the election, but you're not supposed to give voice to that. My jaw dropped. I was flabbergasted. Because remember, I hadn't heard anything about it. And then, Joe can talk about, well, you can't believe what you see on the news or that, whatever. It's all this, that, whatever. Okay, Joe, but I witnessed Giuliani, basically, who was supposed to be Trump's lawyer, essentially throwing Trump under the bus, even if not intentionally. And that's why people, like on Saturday Night Live, mentioned dementia. Like, what the heck are you even going on these shows and you're going to say something, you're just making it worse. You know? At this point, I'm just disgusted. I'm just disgusted. I'm just like... Apparently now Giuliani's going, he's just making it worse and worse. Trump should get rid of him. Trump should get rid of him. He's not helping you, Trump. He's hurting you. And then because Trump undermined him, Trump undermined you, you went and blabbed shit that you should have just kept your fucking mouth shut. Trump undermined him, so now he's going on more shows to try to clear things up. He's just digging a bigger hole, you know. Trump should cut his losses and fire Giuliani immediately. I'm in, like a lot of you, I'm just in total disbelief, okay? I'm in total disbelief. It does not make sense. That's why the Senate Live did what it did. They're recognizing that even though we're glad, you know, because they're against Trump or whatever, we're glad that you are Trump's lawyer, yet are digging a bigger hole for him, and we don't understand why, and we're puzzled by you. But even though we're glad you're doing it, we're still curious. We're just in shock that you're doing it. Like, what, you know... I don't know what he's thinking, but you can't try to convince us that it has nothing to do with it had nothing to do with the election. He really thinks, I get the feeling that Giuliani thought that he would be helping Trump by saying this, but even if Trump did know that he was paying, he doesn't, your lawyer is not supposed to say that you knew, you know what I mean? Why is he doing that? And then you stick to your story, even if we're not buying it, that it had nothing to do with the election. But then the next breath, I mean, Trump's got to be like, what the fuck? Did Trump yell at you? I mean, why did you say that, Giuliani? If you're trying to convince the American public what they're not going to believe anyway, that it had nothing to do with the election, and then a couple minutes later you basically say, imagine if this came out during the election. Because Giuliani was trying to say that that's what lawyers do, they protect their clients. And this, I don't know. I do know there is some reason that Saturday Night Live, that they had funny skits, and then the Weekend Up, that was funny too. And I don't know if those, are those news things they have in the news actually true, but then they put a funny spin on them. Like it said, in Kentucky, a man was accused of waterboarding his wife, and then just a totally straight face, the newscaster on the Saturday Night Live, fake newscaster goes, and the whereabouts of the remote control are still unknown, is still unknown, you know. Then it had something horrible. It was a place was accused of smuggling drugs inside of puppies. It shows a whole bunch of puppies, you know, had an inside drug ring or a pet shop or whatever. And then you think that that's true, but I don't think it really was true, but I don't. And then it goes, the sequel to Secret Life of Pets, and then, you know, Colombian Drug Lord Edition or whatever. Crazy. So I found the other thing that I was telling you about that had more songs on it. but none of these 30 songs or so have been ones that I, okay, so Shaman's Harvest, I have at least, how many songs do I have? There's a couple, one or two of theirs, right, that I love, but The Devil in Our Wake, no. H.I.M. Heart Killer, no. 3 Days Graze the Mountain, that keeps playing every time I turn on Music Choice, even for a brief amount of time. Not bad. But, and then Black Veil Brides or something. Fallen Angels, no. Taylor Momsen is, you know, that's Pretty Reckless. Oh my God, no. Death Wish, Red Sun Rising is not bad. A Day to Remember, Same About You, no. Foo Fighters, Arrows, no. This Means War, Nickelback, no. Maybe I already did go over these with you and I couldn't remember. Asking Alexander, Alone in a Room, I didn't say, but I liked that one. Something in White. Something in White has a song that's weird. It's loud, fuck it. And I wrote no, and then There for Demonstrate Check. It's not that bad. I don't remember going over those with you. I don't know. I'm just in shock. I don't know. And Trump stays so calm. And he's like, yeah, Giuliani's new. He just started yesterday. And people like, and the news was like, he didn't start yesterday, he started 2 weeks ago. And he's new. He's got to get his facts straight. But I bet behind closed doors, Trump was like, what the fuck? Why did you even go on these shows? Why did you even say or mention the debate between me and Hillary Clinton? And I don't know. Nobody's fucking buying it anyway. I don't care unless you're just a total. You're not gonna buy that. It had nothing to do with the election. It was to protect his foe. Bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's just coincidence that Cohen gave Stormy Daniels $130,000 out of his own pocket 11 days before the election. 11 days before the. Yeah, weird. It's just. I'm in shock. I really am. I don't even know if I would believe it if I hadn't witnessed it, but I did. At the time, though, I thought I didn't know until later that he went on several. He didn't just go on that Fox and Friends. He's. If I were Trump, I'd be, you're trying to help me? Don't do me any favors. Holy crap. Messed up. Messed up, fucked up. No. Remember what I told you. If there are nonsensical words as titles to my videos, like for instance, the 3 that I uploaded them today, yesterday, created them yesterday, uploaded them yesterday, and just took them off private now. And they're called XO, VAT, and Bug. because that's what I labeled them when I just coming up with, I just type, come up with something when I'm rotating them in the Windows Movie Maker. Get it, got it, good. But I've so far, I believe, listed to you like 30 songs that I've watched on Music Choice this past week. And I've watched on Music Choice Rock this past week, and not one of the songs did I love. Not one. There might be, a couple here and there that I might break down and put on my MP3 player, but simply because I can't get the ones that I love. If I can't find anything that I absolutely love, then I gotta settle for like, which I've done in the past. But I obviously wish I could at least find a couple, one out of all those songs, one or two that, that I loved. I might just have to bite the bullet and buy some songs off Amazon songs that I don't absolutely love, but like enough, Oh, I watched Pitch Perfect 3. Got it for a whopping 50 cents because Redbox. I stopped using Redbox because, remember, for a whole year almost I didn't have TV or anything like that. And technically you can watch movies on TV if you don't have cable, but didn't even bother. I didn't have the DVD player anyway. So Redbox was like trying to entice me back by offering me a sweet deal, $1.25 off a rental, which was I only paid 50 cents for because it went up to $1.75. I don't know when. I don't remember ever paying $1.75. I don't know when's the last time I'd used Redbox, but in any case, I got the fucking movie for 50 cents. It was cute. Nothing spectacular, but none of them are. I don't expect them to be spectacular. Facebook has a new dating site trying to compete, trying to mimic or compete with or mimic things like Tinder or any of those dating websites and whatever. And my World News Tonight's are already talking about how scammers are taking advantage of that, trying to take advantage of people looking for love on Facebook. They said you can't trust anything. Trust anything. Oh yeah, I heard Trump saying, Giuliani's a great guy, and Trump's all, cordial and whatever to the reporters, and, but he didn't get his facts straight. Meanwhile, Trump's seething inside. You just know it. You know it. With lawyers like Giuliani, who needs enemies? But on Trump's mind. My bug dog. Crazy. Just when you think the thing can't get crazier, we bring Giuliani into the mix. Like I said, Saturday Night Live did not disappoint. I knew that they were going to have skits like that, and they were funny as hell. I don't know if there are any more. I only watched the very beginning when it had that. Notice I'm only saying I don't believe Trump when it comes to the Stormy Daniels thing. That doesn't mean I'm even remotely believing the whole Russian collusion thing. You know, they're two different things. But the Stormy Daniels thing, no, sorry, but I don't believe Trump's telling the truth. And I mean, we're all just waiting with bated breath and waiting for the truth to eventually come out. It's just fucking crazy, all of it. All fucking crazy. Ugh. End of discussion. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. Oh, there are those my new sweatpants that I love when I sleep. Men's size shoes are supposed to be bigger. At Walmart, I buy these socks that are fit 6 to 12, which that's a big range, 6 to 12. When I've gotten women's socks before, I've gotten like fits 8 to 12. Because I found that even fits 9 to 11 too, but these are like tight. They make those up here. They're the same ones I've been buying, but they shouldn't. If they fit 6 to 12 men's, I mean, they shouldn't be tight on me. My foot's big, but it's not that big, you know. I don't understand that either. Although I guess you take your chances when it says, because it's a wide range. The same sock they claim will fit a size 12 foot will also fit a foot 6 sizes smaller in men's. I mean, men's foot. But the whole point is, buying the socks, so, you know, I don't expect them to be tight. That's why I'm not getting women's socks. That's why I'm getting men's socks. And they didn't suddenly get tight. They're the same ones I've been buying periodically. But I thought maybe the new ones wouldn't fit so tight or something. I don't know, because maybe the old ones had shrunk in the wash. The new ones are fitting just as tight. No difference. I need to put my socks on. So I'm wearing panties, so I don't even care if you can see me out of the corner. It's only the only thing you have to worry about that is when I wasn't wearing panties and I thought I was at a camera range and this was probably a year ago or something. I don't know, when I was getting dressed, then you have to worry. But if I was just in camera range changing then, and so what? All you do is see my underwear, and you've seen me in my underwear anyway. It doesn't matter. Nicely. I had to get get all the clothes out of it. There's my room. I didn't have to, I wanted to. So no one tripped over them. But I'm in the process, you know, of slowly washing them. So I have to, it takes time. I'd rather have them in here than out in the living room anyway. I wanted the place clean. Not just because my mom was coming. I wanted the place clean anyhow. Shredder. Dog sleeps where? Here. This sweater must have been buried. There it is. Absurd. Absurd, Omerlou. Absurd. Absurd. Yeah, Pitch Perfect was predictably stupid. Pitch Perfect 3. But I haven't thought any of them were great, you know what I mean? They're alright. I don't expect it to be some masterpiece movie, you know. But they're entertaining enough. Again, got it for 50 cents. I wanted something my mom, you know, would enjoy watching, hopefully. You know, plus that would keep her awake rather than getting a romance or something. Forever My Girl was my another choice that I thought about getting. Tearjerker romance. I wonder if that's a Nicholas Sparks one. Seems like one of his. I've seen quite a few of them, including my all-time favorite, The Notebook. Millions of other people. You just sit there and not talk loud. Weird. Stop like that. Usually I can sit right there and not talk. I'm tired. I think, oh, should we just lie down? Take a nap? With the lights on, even though because we don't want to get ready for bed. I think I'll do just that. Remember another song I heard was like when I wasn't writing them down. When I went on music choice briefly, it was left, right, wrong, or something like that. And that's 3 Days Grace. That's kind of interesting. It's from their same album of the mountain. Kind of interesting. The album's called Outsider. That line I was telling you about, tell myself I've lived to die another day, that's from that mountain. Keep climbing the mountain even when you feel like dying. Push the darkness back. Keep climbing the mountain. Come on, look at this. You're blind. It shouldn't affect you about the fucking lights. Maybe it does. all I was doing is yipping, and I had my mom listen. Can you hear that? She's like, yeah, why does he do that? I said, he's dreaming. And they yip like that, they're dreaming just like we dream. And then I said, I'm hoping that his dreams are sighted, that he can still see in his dreams. Even though he can't see in real life. I said, Mama, he's dreaming, probably of being chased by a chicken or chasing a chicken. Can't ask him. American Idol is saying just 2 more weeks to the final. They rushed this. If it's 2 more weeks to the final, I'm assuming they don't mean including today. 2 more weeks after Sunday, or just 2 more. How could there's 7 contestants left? Are they going to get rid of 3 at a time? You have to have 2 for the final. That's ridiculous. They rushed it. In past olden years, in the olden days, past years, I used to watch it back in the olden days of American Idol. They got rid of when they 1 per week until they were down to 2.